Welcome back to my home training space. I've had a request to start a vlog series. So this is brand new to me, and one of the topics that was requested was to explore a bit of the training tools that I use in my home training space daily. So those of you that follow me on Instagram at Kettlebells88 are very familiar with the modalities that incorporate into my training practices. So a brief background, I started in the industry in 2003. But it really wasn't until the end of 2005 when I got introduced to the kettlebell is when I started to explore and expand outside of conventional fitness. One of the most monumental experiences that I've had in my career was back in 2008 when I got introduced to my original kettlebell mentor, Anthony DeLugio, of what was Art of Strength. The regressions and progressions that I learned from him, the history behind the tools, the applications are the backbone of my training philosophy to this day. And I still incorporate the tools that I got from him back in 2009. So to my right, I have my vintage barbell, my vintage dumbbell. I've got a couple of these. The pinch blocks for grip strength. I have a couple of suitcases. And here is a cluster of kettlebells that I also got back in 2009, but behind my camera, I have a bench in my kitchen with various kettlebells and sandbags underneath that, and then a lockbox out on my porch that has other kettlebells. So they've always been my heart. And then I got into circular patterns when I was pregnant back in 2009. Put them down for a little while, and then I picked them back up, and now I see so much more value in incorporating them and blending them into traditional strength training. So to my right, I have a bunch of Indian clubs here, some tucked behind, that I incorporate daily. I have Persian meals, jewelry, gadas that are handmade by my friends. The gadas are wood and bamboo. And then I have a plethora of steel maces. I also do a lot of body weight movements on my shunna boards. I have 3 of them, and then I incorporate sandbags, TRX, battle ropes, I have a pull-up bar. You know, I like to blend a lot of modalities, but I still traditionally, I guess you could say, strength train at the gym also, you know, with traditional backloaded squats, deadlifts, and so on. In my practice at home, and in my philosophy personally, is I love how training tools become an extension of the body. Like, I'm fascinated by that mind-body connection and the dexterity of the hands, and how no matter if a lift is challenging or the weight is challenging, if the technique and form are correct, there's that moment when it just feels weightless. Or I love how, you know, a mace and an Indian club just starts to circulate around the body and it seems seamless. I like skill-based modalities a lot. I feel like when you go and you attempt to learn a new skill, the practice itself is so much richer. And then you could incorporate that into other modalities that you enjoy. One of my next vlogs is going to be about intuitive training, because I'm a big believer in intuitive training. So those of you that have any questions, you could email me, kelly@kmmoves.com, and I'll try to answer those questions in the next vlog. I'm going to end on the note that I think it's definitely worth investing in tools or modalities that interest you. I've had a lot of these tools for, you know, over a decade, and I continue to collect them because they bring me joy. I see the value in them, and I know I'm going to use them for many, many years to come. And when I explore my training practices and my exercise, you know, I think of it more as a movement practice, a skill, beyond just exercising. And I think that is a really key component for longevity, is seeing the richness in tools that are, you know, vast in history, or I should say rich in history, and implementing them and blending them into current modern culture. So I'm fascinated by physical culture and how all these modalities could blend together and explore the gray areas, because I think there's a lot of beauty in gray sometimes. And I'm just going to end on that note. I've been trying to do a couple of these videos, and I'm not good at editing. I'm going to learn as I go. So that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in.